Okay, so to set up the Lightmix, which again is the coolest new feature of VRay for a long time, in my opinion. I love Lightmix because it gives us full control over the lighting without having to re-render. Okay, so you can see I've got this lamp light right here, and then I've got my sunlight coming from outside. Those are the two main lights in the shot that we're doing right now. Those need to be adjustable, and I don't want to have to just adjust each one individually and then keep rendering, because render times can take a long time, especially if your computer sucks, right? And the one that I record these things on, it isn't the fastest. I have a fast computer, but this isn't the one. Okay, so I like Lightmix because it gives us a chance to have full control over our lighting, which can easily make or break a scene, right? It's a huge part of a nice photograph and therefore rendering as well. So it's a huge element of what makes a photo good or a photo bad. So having full control over it makes a big difference. So go to your render settings, go to render elements, and we want to add VRay Light Mix. Okay. And that's all you got to do. Now, go to your camera and render. Now you can see in the frame buffer, at the bottom now, there's source Lightmix, okay? So you can go to source RGB, which is just what we had before, as if Lightmix doesn't exist. Now the base of our rendering is now just the RGB channel. But we actually want to go to Lightmix, which now the base of our rendering is going to be set by our Lightmix. And you can see there's a list of every single light we have in our scene. Instances are only listed once, so I could have 30 of the same light, and it's just listed once here. Okay, and I have a spinner and a swatch to decide how bright I want it to be and what color I want it to be. If you leave this white, it's going to remain whatever color it was rendering in the scene. So what I do oftentimes, especially since I didn't name my lights well, right? You should probably name your lights well. I didn't. But what I do is I turn them all off, and then I turn them on one by one and see what effect they're having. These ones aren't doing anything for this particular shot. The sunset is named, these imported from Cosmos are always named like this, so you can always see the skylight. Now if I turn this up or down, you can see it gets brighter. So not to be confused with exposure, right? Exposure is turning the whole scene up and down at once. This is turning this light down in relationship to the overall exposure. So I kind of like this where it's like a sunset, and then I want the lamp to put a lot of light. So I just got to find that lamp. Is it that one? I think it's that one. Let's see if any of these others do anything to the scene. You can see in this particular shot, nothing's really contributing except for those two lights, right? So it's this one. So this one I can turn way up so that most of my light is coming from that lamp, like this. You can see that completely changes the entire look of the scene, right? Everything about it just looks totally different. Now my white balance is all messed up because that light coming from the lamp is really warm, and I've got warm light balance going on, so it's actually making it overly warm. Should be something like that. Okay, that material is killing me now. It's too shiny. And I think maybe some overall exposure. I think I want to be more zoomed in like that. Okay, so if I let this render for a long time, then I might get something that I want, that I like. Maybe worth playing around with. This material would need changing. I'd want to change a lot of materials. I might want to adjust the lighting a little bit. And the depth of field is too extreme as well. But that's how the Lightmix works. And we'll be using it throughout in order to get the lighting to show up how we want it to. Let's see, maybe we want this less. And maybe we want the white balance up a little more. Okay, so that's a really quick look at Lightmix, just so we're prepared to use it moving forward. But let's keep taking a look and trying to see what else we need to do to generate a nice scene. And Lightmix will be a big part of that.